one of the surprise segments of the night, and it wasn't advertised by AEW, but it was certainly advertised by Shawn Spears going into this one before the night. He said he had a lot to say and he wasn't going to hold back. And boy, was that an understatement.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on this segment out of Shawn Spears, man?
I was really surprised, and it really, I've been a fan of him since his AEW and his feud with Cody, and I was kind of just surprised how he get pushed to the side in a sense. I think he's had some good matches and the good feud with Scorpio Sky, which is another guy I would love to see more of in the ring. But I loved how he hyped himself up and how he's better than most people on the roster, and that how the management is against him and they're not behind him, and how Tony kind of clapped back and was like, don't you think you're the problem? Essentially, it's not Spears or it's not the management, that he's the problem. And now Spears is kind of taking his ball and running with it and saying, I'll come back if he feels like it. So it's a nice address, and, I don't want to see him off for long, but I feel like there needs to be something really concrete and strong for him to reestablish his toughness, reestablish his place on the roster, and this is a good step in that direction. But where do we go from here? I'm not sure. I hope he gets back into the Dynamite, top card, top guy scene in a sense. It'll be fun to see, and it was unexpected, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it from that one, man. I mean, I've watched Spears organically get himself over in a variety of different roles, in a variety of different platforms. He mentioned it tonight. I mean, he's been places where people doubted him, and he's always found a way to get himself over. The guy, he understands the business. I'm not shocked that he's been paired with Tully. As an FTR fan, he's got that similar mindset of like, put in the work, look to the people who have done it before you to gain inspiration on how to be better at this. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Go back and use your natural talents, be you, but look to the past to gain inspiration on what to do best. And I think that what we're seeing here is a great example of that. We've had in various times in wrestling, we've had those moments where people, guys have threatened to take their ball and go home. And I think that this worked really, really well. It felt real. It felt like the anger has been brewing inside of him for a long time. We saw him get thrown through the wall of the waiting room, dark. I mean, the guy has, I think he's had enough. I think Shawn Spears has hit his breaking point, and he's not wrong. I mean, you look at him, if you could build a prototypical professional wrestler, the guy is incredibly built. The guy is jacked out of his mind. He puts in the work all the time. You follow him on social. The guy seems like all he does is live at the gym. The guy
perfect 10.
He's the perfect 10, baby. I mean, like, he's got it all. And I was there when he went up against Cody live and in person. He had a killer entrance. When he was the chairman, people forget, I mean, a lot has happened in AEW since that feud with Cody, but people forget, man, that dude brought it against Cody. And if you can have a great match with Cody, I think that it shows what you're capable of long-term. I think that Cody is obviously the bar in AEW. And I think that Shawn Spears passed that test. I think it's about time that we give Shawn Spears a little bit more time on television. I would personally love to see, like, if they just went all in with the Tully connection. We didn't see I was left wondering, is Tully on board with what Shawn's doing here? What does Tully think? Because their pairing was there, but Tully wasn't involved in this interview. So I was curious about that. And I would love if we had some sort of reunion down the road with Tully and bringing Spears back in and kind of creating a four horsemen. It's been teased for so long. So many of us have wanted to see it. FTR's natural fit in the heel faction like that. You get Spears in there and you throw one more piece of the puzzle, and I think you got something. So I'm intrigued. Honestly, I don't think we're going to see Spears on TV for a little while. And I think that this was a great way to segue him off television for a little bit.
Yep, I agree.